Robcast. Shout out Russell and Smith Ford. Um, but you have to really know your product. You have to really know your product to sell used cars because they make over 20,000 different makes and models of used cars. But to just know those two products, Ford and Honda, it take a tremendous amount. And what I see lost in the motorcycle salesman, and it could just be the few that I've run into, is that they do not go over a lot of these important safety details with you, and just let's just say where your main fuse is, where your toolkit is, how to access, get underneath your seat, how to take that side cover off. And these are all things that if you're making one of the third or fourth largest investment, probably the biggest toy you've ever bought in your life, these are the things that I would want to take my time and sit down with you and go over. So maybe that's what this Robcast, Life Behind Bars Robcast, talking about life behind handlebars, guys. If you haven't gathered that yet, Life Behind Handlebars Robcast could be all about, those little nuances that you don't learn about your motorcycle that we can talk about right here, live, uncut, and unrated, and we can even say fuck if we want to. And we wanted to. So yeah, talking about it does take very special tools. It definitely takes special skills, and it takes putting in your 10,000 hours to become a master at anything, especially motorcycles, mechanically. And also take that into consideration too, operating them, because look, my rule of thumb is to have a motorcycle underneath me for 2 weeks before I try to open it up. You know what I mean? Try to do anything crazy, ride a wheelie, do an endo, anything like that. But it's been pretty frustrating, saying that, having the skills to pay the bills, and being that we did just go through a natural disaster here in Texas with the flood, and it breaks my heart that I have tools that I've had since the 1990s. It's amazing what happens whenever something sits underneath floodwaters for 4, 5, 6 weeks. They just turn to rust and dust and crust. And so, being that I was like, well, look, I'll clean out the shop. I can build a couple motorcycles. I can go buy a couple of wreck bikes, put them back together, sell them on Craigslist. And I full disclosure, guys, I'll have pictures of, taking these bikes apart and rebuilding them. Normally, you can get a crotch rocket that's been laid down, and it doesn't have anything really more than cosmetic damage. Maybe an engine side cover. But I also don't mind pulling an engine off, completely going through it, whatever it needs. Not really trying to get into any of that kind of stuff unless it's for a motorcycle of mine. Then, of course, I'll take the engine apart 10 times if that's what it takes. But yeah, a bunch of those special tools I basically had to throw on the curb. And I said, well, the blessing in all of this is that I do have the special tools that it takes to record a Robcast. So why not bring some of this knowledge, or some of this stupidness, or some of these pet peeves to do with motorcycling over the old interwebs, and maybe some of these gearheads can tune into this while you're sitting there turning wrenches at work, man. You're trying to put these store-bought bikers this shit together for them, and hope and pray that they don't end up splatted against something. You can tell them to tune into this, and maybe it will help. Maybe it'll help with their skills as far as just knowing some of the little things that people don't sit down and tell you in motorcycle safety class, which I am going to take. It'll be interesting. We'll check it out. We'll talk about it on Life Behind Bars Robcast. I guarantee it. It'll be interesting. We'll talk about what does it take in Texas to get your motorcycle license, because guess what? I've been riding a motorcycle all my life. Never had a Class M license, so I thought 43 years old, now is about the time to do it. And maybe my insurance is already tremendously low, and so maybe it'll go down a little bit. I don't know. Taking the safety course, it can't hurt. I've got an open brain. I'm open-minded as far as willing to learn anything. If they can teach me anything about motorcycle safety or anything that I didn't know, in that aspect, and I have got an open mind, and we'll go in there and see what they've got to learn. I wonder if they'll trip out. If I'm gonna just play it dumb. I'm gonna play like I've never been on a motorcycle at all, rickety and shit, and then like maybe like I think they've got these bikes that they let you ride around their course. So I wonder if they'll wheelie or if they're governed. We'll let you know. Because, yeah, we'll act all rickety. I'll start knocking over cones and shit, and then full throttle that bitch, sit on the back seat and backpeg it. Wop, 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 wop. You think they'll fail me for that? Come on. They've got to have a sense of humor, don't they? We'll see. I guess we'll find out. I guess I'll go to the one... I don't know. There's 2 different ones right around here. I'll check into that, let you know how that's going to go. But I would like to review some up-and-coming bikes. I've heard a lot of really cool stuff about the new BMW. I think it's about a 1,000cc BMW that's all computer controlled. I'll look that up, and we'll talk a little bit about that on the next Life Behind Bars Robcast. What is your motorcycle of preference? What do you ride? Do you ride an Italian bike? Do you ride a Harley Davidson? Do you ride an Indian or a BSA, a Norton, a Triumph, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki? What is your motorcycle of choice? I don't know. I like the one that I get the best deal on. It's normally the one that I ride, and I normally rebuild it, and then somebody offers me way more for it than I think that it's worth, so it's gone. That's normally how that works. The one that I've got now, Sandy, I think I'll hold on to Sandy for a minute because I like her. I've taken a lot of time put into, making her mine, making it what I want, and that's really what it's about, making your motorcycle what you want, what suits your needs. And that's a big problem too with salesmen. If you go in and buy a bike and they're just gonna, instead of listening, like a college kid that's trying to make it from this side of the campus to that side of the campus, man, probably an Interstate or a Goldwing or a Road King or an Ultra Classic Tour Glide is not the best bike for him. If he comes in and sits on it and says, I want this Ultra Classic, you're probably gonna do some questioning, and they call it trial closes and answers, and getting to know your customer and getting them to say yes. And what you want to do is you want to see what motorcycle suits your needs, not the one you want, but the one that suits your needs. Because also you don't want to go home with a TW200 and then your wife get on the back of it and it doesn't go. You just oh, I'm sorry, baby, I guess you can't ride this because guess what? It's got a weight limit. So a good salesman's going to see what it takes to suit your needs, and maybe we'll do a little research. Maybe we'll go into the 2 dealerships and just look at bikes. Maybe I'll ride up there and just look at bikes and see how they try to sell me a motorcycle, and we'll talk to you guys about that and what we think about it. Also, I used to have a lot of friends in the business as far as motorcycling goes. Maybe we'll try to get back in touch with a couple of those guys, see what's happening in the Harley Davidson world. I would like to see what's going on. I'll talk to a couple of drag racers, see what's happening in motorcycle drag racing, motocross drag racing, maybe some hill climbing. What rides are going on right about now? We know that there's going to be a bunch of toy runs and stuff like that. What are you involved in? I'll let you know what the Life Behind Bars Robcast will be involved in as soon as we get on the road again. But for right now, I am going to call this Life Behind Bars Robcast number 1, and we're going to leave it with you. I want to thank you very, very much for tuning in, and just remember, you definitely have a special talent. If you want to ride, man, it's a tremendous amount of freedom to get out there and hit the open road, or to just go out to your back pasture on the 4-wheeler, to go check the back fence, quote unquote, check the back fence, you know what I'm saying? Go fire you up a big old fatty bo batty and go check on the hogs, man. I mean, every once in a while in life, you just gotta unplug from all of this modern technology bullshit, kick back, recharge your batteries, go for a motorcycle ride, go out to the track and hit you a couple of sick jumps, you know what I mean? Or go out free ride somewhere out there in the pasture and find you that perfect little place across the creek that you can just land that perfect jump, until the 7th time when you try to jump the whole creek. and you hit the stump on the other side and it rips part of your freaking all the skin off your left arm. That's a story for another day, guys. I'll leave it with you. Try not to get run over by any Lincoln Navigators on your motorcycle, because that sucks a lot. And other than that, man, the time to act, the time to start your own podcast, or the time to ride your motorcycle, or the time to tell your parents that you love them and that you appreciate them bringing your monkey ass into this world is right now. Because guess what? The past, the beauty of the past is it's behind us. Hey, I would have brought you this Life Behind Bars Robcast tomorrow, but tomorrow's not promised, man. We might not wake up. You hear me? I'm saying? So I'm going to bring you what I got when I got it, and we'll bring you another Life Behind Bars Robcast in about another week. We'll see what's happening in the motorcycle world. We'll review the new BMW and maybe go look at a motorcycle. Go see how they try to sell us at the dealerships and see what that's all about. Up and coming new technology in motorcycling. Will there be an autonomous motorcycle? That's a good question. All of that and much, much more. Pet peeves. Wear your fucking helmet. That's all I got to say, man. Wear your helmet. And y'all have a blessed evening. A badass evening. Even better tomorrow. This is Zombie, and I am out of here for the day, guys. Peace.